r/AskReddit. What's your rock bottom has a basement story? And how did you recover? I was homeless at age 18. I went to a homeless shelter despite warnings from some shady looking guy. I got treated like shit. Got made fun of and belittled. And had my backpack with all my important documents stolen. All this was by the shelter staff. The people who are supposed to help. I still don't donate to any homeless shelter. You don't know how they're really like until they're your last hope. After that I sold my cell phone. Bought a tent and found a backpack and a garbage can that reeked like cat piss but was otherwise clean and did my best not to starve while going from place to place. My tent got stolen eventually but luckily nobody took the backpack. I also got a revolver at one point. I recovered by getting unbelievably lucky and having my uncle find me and take me in and even give me one of his old properties in exchange for fixing it up real nice so he can sell it when he retires. If it wasn't for that I would have killed myself after the first snowfall. I was even saving a bullet for it. Still ongoing at the moment but overcame an opioid addiction and major depression and found my dream job. Well, old mistakes came back to haunt me and led to an arrest and 1 month jail stay after having had a baby 3 months prior. Facing years in prison for a first time offense and getting home to find out that my dear husband cheated while I was locked up and then losing my home and struggling to find work when I had previously been able to find really good jobs. Finally working but definitely not my ideal choice and still dealing with my case. Still hoping to recover from it all. My daughter went into sudden respiratory arrest when she was 2 months old. Day 9 of ICU I got a call that my older 3 kids were in a bad car accident with their dad and I don't know if they are okay. Fortunately they walked away with only mild concussions and my baby is preparing herself for kindergarten and is healthy as can be. I'm so lucky and so blessed. About 7 years ago I went to get £10 out of the cash machine to buy a train ticket home and I couldn't. I had no money. I know that's not that bad. Things could be worse. But that's the only time in my adult life I've had zero money and I felt awful. Luckily a great man at work loaned me £100 and wouldn't even let me pay it back when I tried to. So I got 3 misdemeanors and became homeless. Figured that was rock bottom. Had an upswing. Got married. Only to go to a festival and acquire drug resistant skin mites. Took several years to get rid of them. They also left me with a residual skin condition that seems permanent. The doctors don't understand and can't treat. You don't really recover from stuff like that. What I did do was learn to compartmentalize my feelings. Learn a ton of self-discipline and become a way stronger person. Now I am a full-fledged adult with a skin condition who's recently picked up painting again. Has started writing. And is learning coding. I remember sitting in my bedroom at 2 AM. Trying to make myself start the 10-page research paper due the next day. And just feeling like life was impossible. I remember looking around the room for something to hang myself with. This was while I was on antidepressants. Somehow, I managed to not kill myself but instead stumble into my roommate's room. Wake him up. And ask for help. I then lost control and started wailing and crying. I ended up failing one of my classes and almost failing another. After that, everything changed. I learned how to take care of my mental and emotional health and never got to that point again. Caught my abusive drug addict boyfriend cheating on me a few nights before we were supposed to move into a new apartment. He raged and chucked me out of both apartments. I stayed with friends and at shelters while working 3 jobs to get back on my feet. Had a hard time finding housing. Was struggling with PTSD because not only did he turn on me, the entire community I had built in the time I was with him did too. Even my own friends. Women were coming to me for months afterwards with confessions. I was also trying to stay sober during this time. Had nobody. Was estranged from my family. Wanted to die. Eventually found housing with one of my remaining friends. Adopted a cat and worked really hard to replace all my furniture. The apartment was shit but it was the first place I had felt safe in years. Fast forward 2 years. I'm still working a lot but live in a nicer place now. I have better friends and don't suffer with PTSD so much. My ex's actions still haunt me, but I'm a lot stronger and trust myself and my instincts more now. And I'm still sober. I was homeless when I came out of rehab. Then spent 6 months in a halfway house. I worked pretty hard to get a 1-bedroom in a share house in the city near me. While living with a group of people strangers my age, I had a massive relapse and psychological episode, which led to my telling of horrific and manipulative lies. Ultimately, I ended up in ICU for 6 days with internal bleeding. After quickly having to look for a new place, I checked into an intensive outpatient clinic that had a strong focus on dual diagnosis and therapy over the AA God model. It took years of continued treatments to get me properly medicated and as healthy as possible. It's still an ongoing battle, but I have much better tools. Edit. Added details for clarity. Grammar. Just over 5 years ago I was homeless, in active addiction, and others were deciding if I should go to prison. Then the universe decided to show me that hell gets deeper and took my fianca from me with an overdose. I decided that I had no idea how to live life and started taking advice. I let other people help no matter how much I hated their solutions. I went to treatment. I did what was suggested. I got clean, and slowly, very slowly, I learned how to take responsibility for myself. I started making the right choices no matter how hard they were. Today I have the career I always wanted with money in the bank. I am married to the love of my life and our relationship is better than I ever knew was possible. We have a beautiful 6-month-old boy who has my blue eyes. Friday we bought a house that we are in love with. If your life is a mess, it's probably not everyone else's fault. You should probably stop thinking you have the answers. Let go of the past and take responsibility for yourself. No matter what has happened to you in the past, it is still your life to live and you are responsible for it. Believe in yourself because your belief is the only one that can change your life. First, my dad died. Next, I learned my girlfriend cheated on me while I was at his funeral. Then I was on the verge of flunking out of college. Then my mom was falling so deep into depression my sister thought she might commit suicide. Only way I can explain how I got out of this depressing circle of hell was to man up. No one's going to help you. You need to find your own way out and put the pieces back together the best way you can. Sexual abuse as a kid led into homelessness, lack of education, and then I got into drugs. Then by age 19, I had managed to get my shit together. I had a home and some money coming in, and me and my boyfriend were blessed with our first baby. She passed away at age 5 months of SIDS. And honestly, it's been 12 years and I've not really fully recovered from it. I never will, I think. You just learn how to live with that chasm inside you. My very first semester of college I got pneumonia the first few weeks. A week after that I got a yeast infection, a very painful one too. Then I fractured my wrist a few weeks after that. Then after I had been home for Thanksgiving for a week and had to go back and finish the last 2 weeks of the semester, I thought, well, it can't get any worse, and I was hit by a car a week later. I hope one day I'm able to tell you in person how important this post was to me. Was taking a shitload of Benzos and morphine and wine and shit. I wasn't in the best mental state at the time. Going out with a girl who was lying about having cancer and being pregnant with my kid. IDK what happened, but the next moment I'm fighting paramedics. Then I'm fighting the police. Then I'm in a cell. 24 hours later I'm in a psych ward. In 48 hours I went from having a home, a family, a job, a girlfriend, to having absolutely fuck all. Nothing. Just me, my bag of clothes, and a hell a lot of crazy people. Discharged myself and got a train to a town I knew. Ended up in a hostel with a bunch of smackheads, but that ended up being the greatest time of my life. Every cloud has a silver lining and all that. In the span of 1 year my GF died. I was involuntarily committed to a psych ward. My mother died. Then I went to prison. I still really haven't recovered after 2 years. My dad died of cancer in March. My husband's grandpa died 2 days later. His grandma had to be put in a home because of Alzheimer's, and she just gave up living when the love of her life died. Then his dad had a heart attack. And his mom is in kidney failure and needs dialysis. And I work at a supplier for Boeing, which If you haven't seen the news, is hemorrhaging money because of the max grounding. Which means if it stays grounded, layoffs are coming. And I've only been there a year, so I'll be first out the door. It just won't stop. We're at the end of our ropes and it just won't stop. I thought being held down and raped by 4 guys was the rock bottom for me. But alas, it was not to be. My then newlywed husband told me I wanted it and I was a slut. I spent a decade trying to get that idea out of my head. I was a virgin that married her first love. He ruined me emotionally and grew to ruin me and the children physically. It was a lot worse than I thought it could get. It took a lot of therapy and running away from him to recover. I just recently sold my car to pay for the divorce lawyer. He makes so much money that he was able to afford a lawyer that tried to say I cheated and left. He wants everything. But he won't win. I may not have much, but I'm not giving up this time. He doesn't know me anymore. He has never met Strong Shay. I may not have much, but I'm not giving up. Living in my car after leaving the military and having mental problems. Hooked back up with an awesome girl that saw the best in me. Helped me with using my GI Bill. Getting an apartment and stuck by me through all the ups and downs. We are married now. Have 2 kids and just bought a new house. There are still ups and downs, but she sticks by me and I'm trying to get the help I need. After 13 years I finally applied for VA benefits. Depression. Toxic mother who blames me and calls me stupid from trying to kill myself. I failed one of my modules at uni, a placement module. Basically had to go to a nursery for 3 weeks. The nursery decided to terminate my contract with them, therefore failing that module. I'm currently in the process of a reassessment while all my friends are on holiday. I'm waking up every day at 7 until 3 PM, then I have to go to work at a restaurant until 11 PM. It's fucking exhausting and I'm tired of punching myself in the face every day cause I'm a fucking failure. Mother certainly doesn't help. When I don't talk to her for a few days she guilts me and I have a panic attack. I live 70 miles away from the rest of my family. Do I never get to see them? Honestly, I don't even know if I'll live to see Christmas. I'm just tired and I want to give up. Just fall asleep and never wake up. I was 30. Lumbar facet arthritis. Psoriatic arthritis. Psoriasis plaque. PCOS. Endometriosis. No regular period my entire life. No pregnancy and 7 years of marriage. I went to a reproductive health specialist on the NHS and they said because my BMI was 31 I was too fat for IVF, so they weren't going to help me in any way. Bye. I was stunned. It got better because I told my GP what happened and he sent me to a different specialist and complained. He's still complaining about it. He copies me in on his emails regarding my situation. Having a him in my corner means I'm not on some medication to help me ovulate and getting regular scans and blood tests to see what's going on. Okay. I guess this fits perfectly to my current situation. Certainly not nearly as horrible as some stories here, but whatever. I was raped a few years ago. Never went to therapy. Never got actually over it. In the last few months, my state worsened due to circumstances. I'm at a breaking point in life right now and everything is uncertain. Very dark thoughts all the time. 2 people know about it. One of them being my best friend whom I trusted with literally everything. Nobody knows as much about me as him. Well, a week ago he suddenly tells me that he doesn't want to be friends anymore, and since I haven't really heard of him. Nice. Drug addicted, shut in for most of my life. Got into an argument with a literal neo-Nazi on 4chan about transgendered people. Had a mental breakdown. And realized I'm a repressed trans woman. I'm still trying to come to terms with it. I'm one of them. It was so bad that I wouldn't even leave my room because I honestly felt I was an eyesore that no one would possibly want to be around. I quit smoking cigarettes, weed and taking oxy pills at the same time, cold turkey and with no help. My mental health deteriorated pretty fast. I felt like I really lost my mind for good. Took me a year to recover and feel relative normal again. Every month that goes by from then I feel better and better. Time was needed, I guess, for my brain's chemistry to balance. Edit. I am crying while reading your messages. It was hard but I came through. And so can everyone. Thank you all. Thank you. And for the Reddit rewards again, thanks. I was a sophomore and the college I was attending decided to raise tuition. A classmate of mine, Brenda, came up with a nifty plan where she would goon dates with guys and charge them money. She said she needed my help to make sure the dates went okay and that the guys paid her. She said she'd give me a percentage. Pretty soon there were 14 women under me that I was protecting. I decided I shouldn't use my real name, so I came up with the name Gator. Pretty soon I wake up and look in the mirror and don't like what I see. 2 of the girls say they're gonna need to take me in. At the hospital I met this beautiful woman, got a stable desk job at the police department so I don't feel out of control again. Getting testicular cancer during my senior year of college and having surgery to remove it. Only to find out that I'd need 4 rounds of chemo to get rid of the cancer that spread to my abdomen. None of this was made easier by having a girlfriend that felt like I was spending less time with her than she deserved. Despite being painfully aware of what I was going through. 1 year later, I'm clear of cancer and the girlfriend. Hello ladies. 3-week vodka binge. Woke up in the hospital in restraints. Girlfriend cheated on me. My uncle died in a house fire on Christmas. My cousin was shot 30-some times because he was in a psychosis and tried to take a car. Watched my grandpa slowly wither away from a rare cancer in his abdomen. Failed all 5 classes that college semester. Tried to end my life but couldn't figure out how I'd do it, so said ex that cheated on me called the police, so I got charged for having alcohol. I can't get too deep because I'm on mobile, but basically, my older brother passed away shortly after I found out I was cheated on by my girlfriend. All while I was homeless and slowly losing the use of my left leg due to illness. Then I got the news my innocent, autistic little brother got cancer. He's been in remission for a while now. Current biggest worry is about Batman or something. Tried to kill myself. Got caught at the right time by mom. Mom breaks down. Tells me it's all my fault and I'm shaming the family name by taking the easy way out. End up staying at the hospital longer than necessary because mom needs an excuse. Start planning elaborate ways to kill myself and making it look like an accident or from a disease. A death that won't shame my family. Caught a bad case of tuberculosis. Laying in bed, get a deliriously good idea. Start throwing up whatever I eat or drink. Take meds on empty stomach. Take extra pills or take no meds. Having a weak stomach. Now I'm coughing up fresh blood in the bathroom or wherever. I hide them away. Say I'm taking my meds. No one figures out. Goes to bed one night. Wakes up in the hospital. I'm too weak to speak. I can't make much sense, but I feel somehow disappointed. See my best friend beside my bed. She's crying her eyes out. Sees me. Still crying, says she knew I'll survive battling this disease. Says she wouldn't know what to do if I died. Continues to say many things that I have forgotten about. I feel like I betrayed her. I'm crying with her. Long story short, I crawled out of that basement thanks to my best friend. It's pretty stupid compared to the rest, but when I was in middle school I really struggled with my self-image worth. I was majorly depressed and my escape was playing Call of Duty. I ended up befriending a kid who was in high school and he protected me from all of the older guys who'd call me a squeaker. Then one night my Xbox friend told me that he was going to get rid of his Xbox because it cost his family too much. I cried for a good hour because he was practically the only thing I had going for me. I went to my parents upset and told them that I was struggling and was depressed and got told stop being a bitch. This is where I found the door to Rock Bottom's basement. I went back upstairs and was ready to kill myself. Drastic for a young kid, I know, but decided to check Xbox one last time to see if my friend was on. Luckily he was. I log in and he tells me he's going to get a job so he can pay for the Xbox Live subscription and we can keep playing. So yeah, thanks Delonswag for Eva, you kinda saved my life by working a Chick-fil-A. Girlfriend left me for my best friend. Then they kicked me out of the house that I was paying rent for. Turns out I was never added to the lease. Then they stole all my stuff by not allowing me near the house. I became homeless with just the clothes on my back. I was sick too. It was great. I worked my ass off to get an apartment, go to college with no student loans, and get a good job. If you want to get nothing in return, you can like and join my Discord. There is a link in the description.